welcome. Now, I think for the last video, there are many areas that didn't go so well. I received many helpful comments from my pals that genuinely wanted to see me succeed. You know who you are, so thank you for that. Quite a number of you asked me to speak faster, and so I will try to do so for this video. Some also rightfully commented that my video looked like a boring corporate PPT. There are no colors. Yes, I hear you. I'll try to improve on that for this video as well, which is why I'm trying to re-upload a better version. Right, previously the intro music was not audible and I had to trim it after I uploaded the video. The initial title and thumbnail was also bad. It was literally just about SG fire until a well-meaning person asked me to change it. The funny thing is that someone also asked me to invest in a mic, and the sad ironic truth is that I was already using a microphone. I also received positive encouragement and comments. Thank you. I'll try my best not to cloud chase. Bear with me because this is not my forte. Some people already call me a boomer, which technically I'm not because I'm only 39. I think it will be interesting to review the stats from the last video. So the views are around 4,000, 5,000. Most of the views drop around the second minute or so. So this really implies that I'm speaking too slowly and therefore people don't want to finish the video. These figures don't lie and I've taken the point. Nonetheless, I'm very grateful that the video has 200 plus subscribers. Before that, I told someone somewhere my original goal is to have like 10 views, maybe 5 subscribers. If I receive 100 more. So when the views went to 10 count, I was like, happy, give myself a pat on the shoulder. 100 views, really happy because I never had a video that crossed the 100 mark in the past. I've done videos before, but totally unrelated to finance. At 1,000 views, I'm truly embarrassed with the low quality work. I'm sorry, I will try to do a better job. In terms of monetization, we will need 1,000 subscribers. So we are about 20% there. From what I understand, YouTube pays about $20 for every 20 SGD for every 1,000 views. So hopefully we can get to there and verify this figure. So looking at the statistics, from 4,500 views, we are getting about 200 plus subscribers. So we can say that the subscription rate is about 5%. And to get to another 800 subscribers, we will need about 16,000 views, which I think to me is a tall achievement. Okay, some background. The year is 2005. I was serving my national service. Now I had some time at night in camp. Mine was a stay-out camp, so I chose to stay because of the travel distance from home. So I have some time at night. The phone internet wasn't that accessible back then, if I recall correctly. So I would travel to the nearest library to borrow some financial books. Now, of course, like most people, I will read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and his second book, Robert Kiyosaki's second book on cash flow quadrant. Cliche as it might sound, but at the time it was eye-opening because it gave me an understanding on how income generating asset works and how the rich gets richer. So we got to give him credits for that. Now I'm not saying that you should practice what he preaches, and his stories have been debunked by some to be a fiction. So for example, I didn't do any of the MLM schemes that is recommended by him and was raging back then. But some points that he mentioned still remain very much relevant today, even after 20 years. Now, another classic book is Your Money or Your Life. An important point that stood out from the book is that you should quantify how much time you need to work, minus off your transportation time, how much you actually need to work in order to buy a certain luxury item. Having that mental exercise will make you think twice before buying that item. Now, my point is that a lot of financial information are actually free and readily accessible. There's really no secret sauce to it, and you shouldn't be paying a lot of money to buy those courses or to learn. Actually, with AI, you can actually ask the large language models questions, ask them to simplify for you. But of course, you still have to do your due diligence, right? Verify the figures that they churn out. Also, don't view me as a role model. I'm not a financial expert, nor guru. So there are many decisions that I took in the past, right now, or maybe in the future, that will not make any financial sense to you. I'm not here to debate on the merits of which financial decision is better, because I'm here to learn as well. So if you find that there are habits or certain tips that you find is useful and you wish to emulate, by all means, but be discerning. Okay, avoid copying the rest. My life experience will be different from yours, so what is applicable to me may not be applicable to you. So going back to why I even consider FIRE, I think that life is too short to spend entirely on work. The biggest regret for many people is not having the time to spend on what matters most. So I think in a way we could argue that compared to the billionaires who have already left us, we may have lesser financial wealth, but we certainly have more time wealth than them. For myself, time to time I will see whether there are any income generating hustle I can take out, possibly just to stretch my dollars a bit. But at least I know that I'll be in full control of my time and I have the options to choose what I want to do. So how did I FIRE? As mentioned in my first video, my original goal was to reach for 800,000 because I calculated my money expenses to be 2,000. At 3% safe withdrawal rate, it will be about 800k. So once I reach this figure, tracking of my income expenses become less stringent. So long as my money credit card bills are not too alarming, I didn't track as closely as I have done before. Also partly because I know that I'm quite a thrifty person. My path to FIRE really can be summarized to what a lot of people already know, which is to raise your income as high as possible and keep your expenses low. Save the rest and invest into income generating assets. Now allow me to elaborate for my case. So early in my career, I tried to increase the top line by maximizing the hours I work. I try to diversify my income sources as much as possible so that I can survive on a second but small income while saving the main income. Now, of course, I understand that it is not practical or feasible for everyone to do so, but since you have asked me, I try to share as it is. After all, side hustles are getting popular around the world. Of course, do seek blessing from the supervisors if you need to. Expense-wise, I paid for my own tuition fee for university and living expenses, which back then amounted to about 36k if I didn't remember wrongly. I don't own a car, which I know is a depreciating asset unlike a house, but I understand if you need to have a car for your family. In my early days, I tried to spend like a college student, avoid drinking Starbucks and opt for cheaper alternative. Now, I have no one to flex to, and I also have no one to impress. Financial agents conducting roadshow will avoid me now and not want to waste their efforts on me. Ironically, even though I'm in a better financial position right now, but because I'm wearing clothes from Uniqlo, so they don't really want to waste their time on me. I actually have more people approaching me when I was wearing formal attire many years back. Now, as a scrawny secondary school kid, I've worked part-time in McDonald's before earning $3.50 per hour. So back then, I will calculate how much I need to stand flipping burgers just to buy, say, a sports shoe. $80 sports shoe will take about 23 hours for me just to buy one. And I'm not even adding my traveling time and expenses just to get to the workplace. So see, I'm really applying what I've learned from the book, Your Money or Your Life. Now, after paying for my university fees, my savings rate is around 90%. And I invest the rest in equities, bonds, REITs, etc. So this is really the blueprint to my FIRE. There's nothing secret about it. I don't have a masterclass to sell you either. But you can see that this is an example from teachings from the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I didn't put any affiliate links in my description, but just borrow from the library at zero cost. Now, finally, if I didn't review too much of myself, right, it is really because of my desire to protect the privacy of myself and my family. I hope you can see where I'm coming from. Friends who know me personally will understand the route I took. Now, to reiterate, I want to build a genuine community around FIRE, one that is kind, encouraging, and not put down one another. You know, some of you might be more advanced, right? You know more stuff than the rest, and you might be ahead in reaching a milestone while others are still struggling. So let's try to be more encouraging, right? Be kind with your comments. Now, if you want to know how it feels like after FIRE, to exchange ideas, you can look me up on IG, Lemonade, under my handle, actually FIRE. Hopefully, I can also monetize this channel and provide regular updates in terms of my viewership and earnings. The subs right now is about 200 plus, and we are 20% there. It should be a fun journey, revealing the viewership and earnings along the way, and I hope I can see you on board. As usual, do like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I know I'm putting myself out there to dry, so if you could, please be kind with your comments. We are all here to learn. Thank you, and see you in the next video.